Anthony Slater here with Darnell Mayberry for the Thunder Bob Moore Ford post-game wrap. And it's a wrap for round one for the Thunder, 120-109 over the Grizzlies. Kind of an expected win at home once you heard Zach Randolph was out with a suspension. But it wasn't always great. They went down by double digits at one point, but really kind of fought back, went way ahead, and ended up winning by double digits.
Yeah, slow start. Maybe nerves were involved. Maybe they just didn't play very well, and Memphis came out trying to prove something that they could play without Zach Randolph. But turnovers were really the story of the game early. Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant I think they combined for 7 turnovers in the first quarter, and they really just didn't do a good job of taking care of the basketball. But then once they got that under control, they started making some shots, and their offense really woke up there, and they were able to take a 3-point lead in the halftime. And in the second half, the onslaught began, and that was just without Zach Randolph, with Mike Conley kind of limping with a hamstring injury, the Grizzlies just didn't have enough to keep up.
You mentioned the turnovers for Russell Westbrook. That was really the only blemish on his line all night. He had 7 of them, but he did have, I think, 26 points, 16 assists, 10 rebounds, the second triple-double of the playoffs. He's the only guy with the triple-double in these playoffs. The only player also with Rajon Rondo to have 2 Game 7 triple-doubles. Just magnificent all night. Only takes 16 shots and has 16 assists.
Yeah, I mean, you take away those turnovers, even 3 or 4 of them, I mean, it's just a brilliant game. It's still a brilliant game by Russell Westbrook, even with the turnovers. I think he did a great job of really playing under control, playing within himself, and knowing when to attack and when to get his teammates involved. I mean, he got a lot of guys open shot opportunities tonight, didn't really settle. I think you wrote about that. He didn't take 3-pointers in the last 2 games, Game 6 or Game 7. He only took, 3 or 4 3-pointers. So he really played a much more steady game than he did in some of the games that they lost, and I think that was really a big key for the Thunder winning.
And Kevin Durant is also a key. I mean, he kind of has gotten his mojo back Game 6 and Game 7. Really tonight, big game, went 5 of 5 from 3. He's really struggled from deep throughout the series, but 5 of 5 from 3 was huge. Just a great game, the kind of game you expected all series from him, and it's finally come in these last 2.
Yeah, and he admitted after the game that, all the criticism did kind of motivate him and kind of wake him up a little bit. He was thinking too much. He was letting everything get in his head, and he just had to go out there and start having fun and stop thinking so much. And you saw that tonight. I mean, he was getting open shots. He was getting the shot he wanted. He wasn't worried about the defense. He wasn't worried about critics or if he was taking, bad shots. He was just basically going out there and playing like Kevin Durant is accustomed to playing. And it's really a good sign because as this second-round series starts with a quick turnaround on Monday, now he's got his stroke back, it looks like, 12 of 18 from the field tonight, his best shooting night of the series, 5 for 5. He was 4 for 29 from 3 in his previous 4 games. So now it looks like he's regained his rhythm, and that should propel him going forward.
You mentioned the quick turnaround. Game 1, Thunder Clippers comes Monday night here, 8:30 tip. The Clippers are explosive. They're dynamic offensively. They don't play the same type of defense as the Grizzlies, but they're a dangerous, dangerous team with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. Just a ton of studs all over the court. And Jamal Crawford.
I was about to say, you're not going to mention Jamal Crawford, your boy. J.J. Redick, Matt Barnes can make threes. I mean, they got a nice bench now. I mean, they made some additions with Hedo Turkoglu and Glenn Big Baby Davis. They've got a lot of weapons now that they can go to. And, of course, Doc Rivers coaching that team. It's a different ball game now with Doc Rivers on the sidelines. I mean, he's getting those guys to play hard every night. They're playing a little bit more defense, a lot more defense actually. Didn't show up in their Game 7 against the Warriors, but they got it done. And so that's going to be a really tough test for the Thunder. I think it's going to help the Thunder has home court advantage. Remember, those 2 teams were battling it out for home court advantage down the stretch of the season, and the Thunder was able to come away with it. So I think that could be a key to the series, just the Thunder having home court advantage in these first 2 games and a potential Game 7 on their home floor.
After what we just saw with the Grizzlies, it's kind of maybe weird for me to say this, but I think this is their toughest test in the West, the Clippers. I just think they're offensively. But who are you picking in this series?
I mean, I'm picking the Thunder. I think they're the more talented team. I think they play better defense, and they've got the best 2 players in the series in Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, even though Chris Paul is right there. But Russell Westbrook affects the game in so many different ways, as you saw tonight with the triple-double. You'd have to give the Thunder the edge, especially with home court advantage.
Probably 4 of maybe the top 10, top 15 players in the league will be on the court starting Monday night. Should be a great one. That'll do it here for the best Thunder coverage team anywhere. Stay tuned to newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.